Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Miss Puspa as a lecturer and beloved friends. First of all, let us introduce ourselves first. We are from Group 3. There are 5 members in Group 3. First, me, Sandra Aprilia Wijaya. The second is Diah Wulandari. The third is Utari Bagas Kari. 4. Adetya. And the last is Annisa Aulia Rahmi. Today, we will continue discuss Unit 12 about the most important people in history. The first material will be explained by me, and after that will be explained by Adetya, and after that will be explained by Annisa, and after that will be explained by Diah, and the last will be explained by Utari. Okay, the first material will be explained by me. Okay, in this chapter we learn about the most important people in history. So we choose 15 famous people in history that affect in human culture. The first is Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great was the king of Macedonian Empire, a country in northeast Greece. At the age of 30, he ruled over the largest empire in ancient history, stretching from the Ionian Sea to the Himalayas. He was never defeated in battle and considered the greatest war commander all of time. Alexander was born in Pella in 356 BC and was a student of famous philosopher Aristotle, and he died in Babylonia in 323 BC, although he only ruled for 13 years. During his leadership, he was able to build an empire that was bigger than any kingdom that had ever existed before. At that time of his death, the territory ruled by Alexander was 50 times bigger than that revealed to him and covered 3 continents: Europe, Africa, and Asia. The title "Great" behind his name is given because of his greatness as king and his success in conquering vast territories. And the second is Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte, born August 15, 1789 and died May 5, 1821, was a French military and political leader who became famous during the Revolutionary War. Napoleon had a large influence on the European province for more than a decade, while leading France against the coalition in the Napoleonic War. He won most of his war before the final defeat in 1815. Because he was one of the greatest commanders in history, his campaign was studied in military schools around the world, and he remained one of the most famous political figures and sparked debate in Western history. And the last is Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was born in Austria-Hungary, April 20, 1889, and died in Berlin, Germany, April 30, 1945, at the age of 56. Was a German political and chairman of the Nazi Party. Hitler became a major figure in Nazi Germany, World War II in Europe, and the Holocaust. Hitler was a veteran of World War I with many titles. He had been jailed for wearing a cap in Munich now, as the Beer Hall Potch incident. where he wrote his memoir titled Mein Kampf, which means My Struggle. Hitler was one of the people who triggered the Second World War because he ordered Germany to be rearmed and Wehrmacht invade Poland in September 1939. Hitler's police resulted in death of around 50 million people during World War II, including 6 million Jews and 5 million non-ethnic Arya. Hitler communicated suicide with his wife because he didn't want to be captured by the Red Army in 1945. Okay, the last explain will be handled by Adetya.
Okay, my name is Adetya. Today I want explain 3 of 15 the most important people in history. First, I choose Mao Zedong or Mao Zedong from December 26, 1893 until September 9, 1976. Also known as a Chairman Mao, was a Chinese communist revolutionary who became the founding father of the People's Republic of China, or PRC, which he ruled as the chairman of the Communist Party of China from its establishment in 1949 until he died in 1976. Ideologically a Marxist, Leninist, his theories, military strategies, and political policies are collectively known as Maoists. The reason why I chose Mao Zedong because he is the one of the most important figure in modern China's history, like his biography that I explained before. Second, I chose Buddha. The Buddha, also known as Siddhartha Gautama or Siddhartha Gautama, was a philosopher, meditator, spiritual teacher, and religious leader who lived in ancient India. He is referred as the founder of the world religion of Buddhism. He taught for around 45 years and built a large following, both monastic and lay. His teaching is based on his insight into dukkha and the end of dukkha, the state called nibbana or nirvana. And the last one, I chose Jesus. Jesus, also referred to as Jesus of Nazareth or Jesus Christ, was a first-century Jewish preacher and religious leader. He is the central figure of Christianity. Most Christians believe he is the incarnation of God the Son and the awaited Messiah, the Christ prophets in the Old Testament. The historicity of Jesus relates to whether Jesus of Nazareth was a historical figure. Virtually all scholars have investigated the history of the Christian movement, find that the historicity of Jesus is effectively curtailed, and standard historical criteria have aided in reconstructing his life. Scholars differ on the belief and teaching of Jesus as well as the accuracy of the details of his life that have been described in the Gospel, but virtually all scholars support the historicity of Jesus and reject the Christ myth theory that Jesus never existed. The reason why I chose Buddha and Jesus for the most important people in history, it's because Jesus and Buddha are one of the belief or religions that we were born since ancient time. Each religion has its god or book that is believed by its people about the past or what will happen in the future. Several books show history earth so that it can be important and easy to find out. I think enough for my explanation. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Annisa Rahmi. So now I will continue the material. It's about most important people in history. So I choose 3 people. There are Muhammad, Howard Aiken, and the last is Alexander Fleming. For the first one is Muhammad. Muhammad is an Arab religious, social, the leader, political leader, and the founder of Islam. He was born on 570 CE or year of the elephant in the Arabian city of Mecca, and then he died when he was 61 or 61 or 62 years old on 8 June 632 in Medina, Hijaz, Arabia. He is the most important people in history, especially in Islam, because he is a founder of Islam and regarded by Muslims as a prophet of God and the last messenger. And also, after the Holy Quran, the saying of the prophet or hadith, and description of his way of life or sunnah are the most important Muslim texts. So that's why I choose Muhammad for most important people in history. And the next is Howard Aiken. He is an American physicist and a pioneer in computing, being the original conceptual designer behind IBM's Harvard Mark I computer. And then he was born on 8 March 1900 in Hoboken, New Jersey, United States of America. And then he died when he was 73 years old on March 14, 1973 in St. Louis, Missouri. And why I choose Howard Aiken for most important people in history is because he was the first person to invent a computer system, so he played an important role in the history of the creation of computer. And the last is Alexander Fleming. He is a Scottish biologist, physician, microbiologist, and then pharmacologist. He was born on 6 August 1881 in Darvel, Ayrshire, Scotland. and then he died when he was 73 years old on 11 March 1955 in London, England, St. Paul's Cathedral. And the reason why I chose Alexander Fleming is because he changed the science of modern medicine by discovering the first antibiotic substance which come to be known as penicillin. I think that's all. Thank you, and the next presentation will be handled by Diah Wulandari.
Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Diah Wulandari. I will continue from Annisa explanation, the 15 most important people in history. Okay, let's get started. Scientist. In senior high school, I'm a science student, so I love to explain about something that related with science. And today I will explain about people who important in history. Scientists. There are scientists. The first one is Hippocrates. Hippocrates is Greek called the father of medicine. And then the second is Abdullah ibn Sina. Abdullah ibn Sina is Arabian physician who helped lay the basis of modern medicine. So Abdullah ibn Sina is similar to Hippocrates because they are from medicine. The differences is Hippocrates is father of medicine, and then Ibn Sina is the father of modern medicine. And then the last one is Gregor Mendel. Gregor Mendel is Australian founder of genetics. Okay, I will explain it one by one. The first one is Hippocrates' biography. You can look at chapter 12 on your practice book. Hippocrates, Greek called the father of medicine. So this is the biography. The first is full name. He has full name Hippocrates, and then place and years of birth, Kos Yunani 480 SM, and then the name of his children are Thessalus and Draco, and then the name of his wife is Pirithous, and then the last one is place and years of death, Larissa, Yunani 377 SM. So Hippocrates is a father of medicine. So I think Hippocrates is very important for our history because from Hippocrates we can know about the kind and categories of the disease. So not only that, Hippocrates is the book from Hippocrates are used until now from medical students. So I think Hippocrates is very important for us to know about so many kinds and categories of disease. Okay, next. Second is Abdullah ibn Sina biography. Abdullah ibn Sina is Arabian physician who helped lay the basis of modern medicine. Same like Hippocrates, Abdullah ibn Sina is the father of modern medicine. The differences is if Hippocrates just the father of medicine, and then Abdullah ibn Sina is the father of modern medicine. And then full name is Abu Ali al-Hussein bin Abdullah bin Sina, and then place of death birth Uzbekistan 22 August 980 Masehi, and then he lives in Dynasty Samania, and then place and date of birth Iran 22 Juni 1037 Masehi. Abdullah ibn Sina is very important for our history, because from Abdullah ibn Sina we can improve the medicine from the traditional medicine become modern medicine. So it is very important. And then there are so many kind of medicine are made by Ibn Sina. If you go to Muslim drugstore, you can see so many kind of medicine. The name is from Ibn Sina. And then next, the last one is Gregor Mendel biography. Gregor Mendel is Austrian founder of genetics. He has full name Gregor Johann Mendel, and then place and date of birth Czechia 20 July 1822, and then educational background Palaki University Olomouc, and then the last one is place and date of death Czechia 6 January 1884. So if you science students in senior high school, you can know about Hukum Mendel. So Hukum Mendel is made by Gregor Mendel. So I think Gregor Mendel is very important for our history, because from her we can know about the characteristic from our children, not only children but can use for plants and animals. So from Gregor Mendel is Hukum Mendel. Hukum Mendel is used for genetica replica. So it's very important for this era because Hukum Mendel is used for the parents who request the characteristic of their children. For the example is the color of eyes, the color of hair, the kinds of hair, and then so many characteristic can describe for their future children. Okay, I think that's all for my explanation. The next material will explain by Utari. Okay, thank you.
Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Utari Bagas Kari. I will continue the material about the most important people in history. The first is Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus was an explorer and trader from Genoa, Italy, who crosses the Atlantic Ocean and reached the American continent on October 12, 1492. The trip was funded by Queen Isabel of Castile, Spain, after the Queen's success the conquering Andalusia. Columbus was born in Geneva at the years of 1451, and Columbus died in Valladolid on May 20, 1956. Columbus' title was Admiral of the Ocean of the World, Viceroy and Governor of the Indies. Columbus was not the first person to arrive in America, which he found was already occupied. He was also not the first European to reach the continent, because it is now widely recognized that the Vikings from Northern Europe visited North America in the 11th century and established the colony of LNC Oaks Meadows for a short period of time. It is estimated that an unidentified sailor traveled to America before Columbia and provided him with a source for his glory. There are also many theories about expedition to America by various people throughout that period. Columbus thought that the island was still a virgin, uninhabited at all. There aren't toward making the island an extension of Spain. But after breaking in, Columbus was surprised to find the exact building he had seen before when landing in Africa. At first, Columbus was warmly welcomed by the Indians, but after being discovered his bad intentions come on this island, Columbus received a lot of resistance from the local. Some fleets of ships belonging to the group of Columbus were drowned by Indians because they felt disturbed the threat by the arrival of Columbus. The next is Alexander Graham Bell. Alexander Graham Bell is a scientist, creator, and founder of the Bell Telephone Company. In addition to his work in telecommunication technology, he also contributes important advances in aviation and hydrofoil technology. He was born in Edinburgh on 3rd March 1847 and died at Bainbridge on August 2nd, 1922. Discovery of Alexander Graham Bell are phone, photophone, hydrofoil, audiometer, HD4, metal detector, etc. Although Alexander Graham Bell was the inventor of the telephone, he never called his wife and mother because they were deaf. And the last, the Wright brothers. Consisting of two brothers, there are Orville Wright and Wilbur Wright. Orville Wright was born in Dayton of 19 August 1871 and died at Dayton on 30 January 1948. And Wilbur Wright was born in Millville on 16 April 1867 and died at Dayton on 30 May 1912, were generally followed for the design of the first effective aircraft and made the first controlled flight using aircraft that are heavier than air, along with the establishment of other militants in the field of the aerospace era. The siblings initially ran a store in Dayton, Ohio. The shop sells and repairs motorbikes. They began to study flight problems in 1889. Then they began to make three twin-winged gliders. All three were tested on the beach of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. The third aircraft has been tested 1,000 times and was successful. Then they made a lightweight motorbike engine. The engine was installed in his fourth aircraft, which named the Wright Flyer. The airplane design of the Wright brothers are Wright Flyer, Wright Flyer 2, Wright Flyer 3, and 1092 Wright Gilder, etc. Okay, I think that's all for our group presentation. And sorry for our mistake. And the last say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.